Hey guys, so if you didn't know already, this is the second episode of my evolution of Lego Batman through minifigures. If you haven't seen the original episode, I encourage you to go check that out because we covered themes such as this original Lego Batman and the first year of the first bit of Lego DC superheroes. So there is a lot there, and you'd be kind of coming off the short bus if you didn't go take a look at that. And let's please subscribe because I want you to. And let's take a look at the selection. So in terms of minifigures, 2013 was a short year for Lego DC superheroes. They only released 3 figs, and that was this Arctic Batman, the Combat Mr. Freeze, and we never actually saw anything like this before, so this was kind of new. And then we have this updated Mr. Freeze, and I'm surprised it took them this long to make a new Mr. Freeze, because the older one was definitely outdated, and they definitely needed an upgrade. And this one I thought was great because it definitely kind of looked better with a better helmet thing, because the other one looked like a fishbowl. And then we have Aquaman. Yeah, this is actually the first fig to actually not be like, or to first hero that isn't either Batman and Robin. So like a new hero, new territories. And then when you go to 2014, let's take a look at the hero search. We have this new Nightwing, and this Nightwing's red. And they definitely love the hair. It's definitely a lot better than this weird kind of hair that we got with the other one. And yeah, I really like it. And then when we have this, then we have the Flash. Not much you can say about him because he didn't really evolve a whole lot, or he didn't evolve into anything. Okay, whatever. Next we have this new Batman, a gray one, and when you look at the older one, you can definitely see some similarities. This one's a lot more simpler, and the other one's a lot more complex, but this one's kind of ugly, and I just don't like it, the bat symbol, but the older one is definitely my top pick. And then we have Damian Wayne, or Batman's son. It's a new Robin. I said in the other video there was like 6, 7 Robins. And this one is obviously the youngest because he's super tiny. He's a tiny boy. And yeah, that's when we look at this other fig, he has the same hair piece. And then when we look at another Robin, you can see he has the same headpiece. I'll mention that later when I get to that Robin. Then we have this new Batgirl, the first Batgirl fig ever. So when we look at the actually in the video game, Batman the video game, which came out I believe before this, I'm not actually sure, but she had her own minifig there, but it never came out. So it's a very confusing situation. Then we have this Aqua Batman. First one, that's Aqua, I suppose. So now I can be friends with Aquaman, and yeah, that's kind of cool. And then we have this blue Batman. This, it's a lot lighter than this other one, which is a lot darker. So it just looks like they took it and then made it a lot brighter. And then we have this new Robin, as I said. It has the same headpiece as Damian Wayne. It's got a tiny cape, or like Damian Wayne as well. And yeah, not much I can say. He kind of copied the torso, or kind of copied the torso design of the original Robin. And I mean, yeah, so that's all I can say about the heroes. And then when we look at the villains, we have Man-Bat, the first one. Yeah, pretty good fig. And then we have the Riddler, and they updated his hat. If you didn't know, for this older one, they made it green. And yeah, I'd like to point out, as you'll see later, I feel like usually every year, they just make a whole new set of minifigures, like a whole new usually not a whole new Batman, but a whole new set of villains, so that, people feel the need to go buy a whole nother, buy all this, so they can get the updated heroes. And although I do feel like it's good to update your collection every few years, you shouldn't be doing that every year. And then, yeah, sorry, I'm rambling. Then we have this new goon, and it's basically just the older goon, but with a construction torso on. So just new construction. And he came in the same set as this new Joker, which I believe looks like the Joker from the Batman 1989, because he has that hat on. I'm forgetting the guy's name. I think his name's Jack or something. I don't know. He played in The Shining. And then we have this new penguin. It's one I actually have. It's my second favorite to the original. Nothing's gonna beat the original. And yeah, so it looks pretty nice. And they, when you look at the one before it, it's very similar. I feel like they just kind of changed just a few things. This one looks a lot more purple or pinkish. Okay, now moving on to 2015, let's take a look at some heroes. So first we have this Robin with some green hands, a green color scheme. And I believe he's supposed to look like this Robin from Batman Forever. And he looks a lot different from all these other figs, a lot different shade of green. So then we move on to Starfire, I believe from the Teen Titans. So yeah, not much I compare with this. And then when we have Beast Boy, also cool, but I can't really compare him to anything because there's only one Beast Boy in this theme. And then when we move on to Robin short sleeves, I believe he's supposed to be Robin from Teen Titans Go, but he also has this this face that we saw from this earlier Robin, as well as some color schemes that we saw from some older Robins as well. And then we have this new Batman that's dark gray. And, the first minifig in this theme to actually have Cowl Type 3, so we've switched over from that. So, yeah. And then when we have Deathstroke, these are some of the villains. Cool fig, I really like him, except I can't compare him to anything. Then we have this Harley Quinn, and this one's kind of ugly, but when we look at the older ones, this one's not my favorite, and it's just kind of ugly. Then we have this new Joker, which I believe is the same as the older Joker, but with a new torso. And then we have some 2016 villains. Let's start with those. We have Deadshot. Then we have this new Harley Quinn, and if you take a look at the older one, this is actually the same face that they used. In a new color scheme here, we haven't seen this before. Then we have Scarecrow. When we look at the older one, you can see why I prefer the older one. This one I just don't like. Then there's Killer Moth. Yeah, cool fig, but can't compare him to anything. Then we have Killer Croc. This one, sure, it fits a purpose, but there's not much you can do with a big fig compared to this minifigure, which I feel like is a lot better than this big fig. And then we have Red Hood. So that's actually Jason Todd after he was resurrected from comic book shenanigans. And yeah, and then when we take a look at some 2016 heroes, we have this Pirate Batman. Yeah, kind of cool. Then we have this Gas Mask Batman to combat the Scarecrow that we saw. Then we have this Blue Beetle. Yeah, kind of a hero team up, I suppose. We have this Katana. I think that's like a I think she's supposed to be a hero, actually. And then we have this Desert Batman, and when we compare, when we look at Dawn of Justice, he looks kind of similar to this Nightmare Batman, which we'll mention later. And then we have this Robin. Yeah, it's also, I believe, Damian Wayne. So, except he's just with a hood. Yeah, so just added a hood. Then we have this blue Nightwing, which is basically the red one with blue, and I feel like it's taken them a while to get to blue again, so I kind of like that, so you give people options whether you want red or blue. Okay, let's hop over to the Mighty Micros theme, where we have this Bane, and he's completely different from any other Bane I've seen. He has a completely different torso design, and he's kind of tiny and goofy. Most figs from this theme were. And then we have this gray Batman, which is kind of similar to the this Batman, but this one's a lot simpler. And then when we look at, oh yeah, and it's kind of funny because his cape is full size, yet he's not full size. And then when we have this Catwoman here, and I believe she's the last fig to ever appear with the cowl that this one does. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Then we have this Robin, and he has a tiny cape, same as these other figs with Damian Wayne and this fig. So, yeah. And then we have this blue Batman, and it's basically the same as this Batman. Kind of like it's this Batman is the same as this one. And then we also have Killer Moth, and he's a lot more different than this Killer Moth, so it's kind of like an upgrade, but in my opinion it's a downgrade because I prefer this one. And then we have this Nightwing, which when we look at this one, it's a lot simpler. I don't really like this one, but I don't think that these were usually meant to be, highly detailed figs. Just something that you could play with for little kids. And then we have this Joker, and when we look at the probably in the next episode, when we look at a lot of Jokers from the Joker from the Lego Batman movie, it has this hair, so that kind of kick-started that little thing there. And then we have this Black Batman, and it's kind of the same as these two. Yeah, so not much you can say about him, but kind of just copy. Then you have this Harley Quinn, which is a lot similar to this one, just a lot more simpler. Okay, so next we have the 1960s Batman. So this was based after the 1960s TV show. So first we have this Adam West Batman. So does it look like Adam West? And I feel like they did a pretty good job for that, except for the minifig, which doesn't look too much like him. And then we have Burt Ward, and his, as you can't already see, his cape is very similar to Damian Wayne's cape, or this other Robin's cape, I don't know. So he was pretty good. Then we have this Alfred, which surprisingly enough is the only other Alfred besides the one we got in 2006. Actually, there will be another one with the Batman movie, but this is the only other one. And then we have this new Joker, and as you can see, it has this lime hair, which I really like. If you look at this other Joker, he has that hair, but in a darker color. Then we have the Riddler, so nice fig, pretty nice fig. Then we have this Penguin, and when we look at this other fig, you can see they didn't really try very hard for this fig. Yeah, they just probably went through some old stuff and, hey, this looks close enough. Just make them a purple hat. Good enough. And then we have Catwoman, so she actually has a hairpiece now instead of like a cowl. Because I don't think she had like a cowl in the 60 series. So that's pretty interesting. And then we have Mr. Freeze. Kind of ugly, I guess. Doesn't really have a head thing over him. I don't really know how he stays cold now. Okay. Now let's get on to the next category. Now let's move on over to Dawn of Justice. So we have this armored Batman that's super epic looking. And funny enough, it has a cowl type 2, yet it's the only one in the series to have a cowl type 2, which is kind of weird. They switched that over. Then we have this Superman. It's cool hair from, I believe, the first Superman. That, actually, I'm not exactly sure about that. I can't make a statement, but it's cool Superman. Then you have Wonder Woman. So, yeah, supposed to be... Yeah, I just lost my train of thought there. Sorry. Then we have Lex Luthor, pretty cool looking. Can't really say much because he doesn't evolve into anything, or this is the only one that we see. Then we have Lois Lane, pretty cool. Then we have this Nightmare Batman, which is cool like this Desert Batman. As I mentioned earlier, I actually have this one in my first channel if you want to go take a look at that, if you can find it. It's actually spelled Nightmare like a night as in like on a chest with a K. And then we have this Ben Affleck Batman, which looks super good, except I hate Ben Affleck. I mean, the Batman one at least, so that automatically makes it awful. And it kind of looks like this one, except the torso's been changed a little. Okay, now let's take a look at 2017 with the Batman Juniors theme. So we have this Lego Batman here with a cloth cape, I believe the first one that's actually kind of the soft cape that many superheroes have now. Yeah, and it really looks like this one, but just a new cape. And then we have this Robin, which is actually my Robin of choice, probably because he's cheap and I have him. And yeah, my first channel, Crisis Monday. And they have this Mr. Freeze, which looks very much similar to this Mr. Freeze. Kind of, I suppose. I don't know. Let me know down in the comments if you think he looks similar or not. Tell me why. Okay, so now we have Lego Justice League. And there are a lot more figs in this series, but most of them were actually just figs that were repeated. So I'm just going to go over the three outstanding new ones. So first we have this Batman with an epic looking tactical suit. So that's pretty cool. It kind of looks custom made. If I didn't know this was Lego, it looks definitely custom made. And then we have this whitish gray Batman. Don't know what's really up with him. But, and then we have this Bizarro Batman. Yeah, I don't know. He didn't come in the Justice League movie. He came in like some other older Justice League theme, but I thought I'd cover him now because I don't know. He wasn't from 2017, but I kind of missed him. So, and then we have this Space Batman, which looks epic. He's got these huge wings, so that's something that is really cool. And yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. That's all we're going to do today. And if you want to see some more, please make sure to like and subscribe because there is a lot we haven't covered. And there's a lot to go. And if you want to see my first episode, there should be a card popping up right about now that has that because there's a lot there that you probably missed if you haven't seen that. And yeah, thank you so much for watching on the Sick Brick 5000.